Hello, hello, Red Pill community. It's me, Dorothy Guyton, speaking on manhood. Don't want a woman to do it, but guess what? I showed up and I'm here. I went through and I saw a list of 12 books that the Red Pill man should read, and power and dating were at the heading. And I went back to look the genesis of the red pill movement and was to understand women so they wouldn't be confused and frustrated about them. And sometimes we have to look at ourselves before we go to the next level. So that's what I decided to do when I wrote my book, Manhood Interrupted, an answer for the red pill man, is to look at self first and make sure we presenting the best of the best to everyone we encounter, especially women. If women are going to be choosing, as the Buffon law says, that they are the determiners of the family, and if there's no benefit in that association, women don't associate. And I know that with women to woman relationships, if it's not a benefit, they move on. Seem like women are predators, right? They are takers, takers, takers. And that may be the case when you are the one that carries a new creation in your body, and you are so responsible from the moment you know that you're carrying a new life within you, that you're going to have to do whatever it takes to ensure this life survives. So we talk about the male instinct of survival, but the female instinct of survival may be so great also that you have to dismiss what doesn't give, doesn't add, doesn't help. As a woman that gives birth, and we say a man is responsible for 18 years, but that woman, from the moment she knows she's pregnant, is so responsible in her duties, in the pressure of ensuring that that life survives. So where I left off before was the 3 P's of manhood: provider, protector, and procreator. And if you break down what the protector is, for the modern man, it's a duty to protect, in most instances called upon during a crisis. And it has always been through history, when war broke out, all the attention turned to the man. The man went out there and he put his life on the line to protect. He defeated the enemy with strength and skill and everything. And now we're in a time where women are called upon to go to war, and they give their lives to protect their community, their state, their country, their nation, and put their lives on the line. So protector was once when the community turned to the man and looked to the man for his strength and his power and his courage to protect. But now we look to women also for that. Did that make men irrelevant? No. It just meant that more than the man was looked towards to in crisis. And right now, there's a video of a female soldier crying, saying she didn't sign up for war. She didn't. And they're like, hey, buck it up. You've been getting the pay and the benefits in that uniform, and you signed on voluntarily. Now you're called upon. You can't back down. You're trained. You are the one on the front line now, and you should go ahead. And of course, I served in the military during the first Gulf War. And I can tell you, war is scary. But the point of the matter is, I was trained and I was competent in that training. I passed the training. And so I was more ready to go to war. If they did a draft of men who didn't have any training or anything, that wouldn't even be fair. Just because he's a man now, he should be the one on the front line. And I took in all the training and everything. No, that wasn't right. So, yeah, women go now and they're able to fight and be in those areas. They volunteer to do it, okay? So a man was needed to stave off harm. It has always been that way. But now from the 20th century forward, the end of the 20th century forward, it's not just a man needed to stave off harm. He used his physical strength and endurance, his skills with weapons and strategy. He could stand his ground even when afraid, and he was not sensitive to physical pain and had coolness under pressure. All those things we just said was of man, now we can see that in women also. Women can do those same things: physical strength, endurance, skill with weapon, strategy, able to stand her ground, afraid, and not be sensitive to physical pain, and coolness under pressure. And man was known to volunteer. He would push his family out the way and volunteer and be graceful in his acceptance in the fact that he may lay down his life for his family. And we have women that are doing that also now. They know that they may have to lay down their life for their family. And like I said, it's more single female parent households. And so she has stepped into that role where she knows, and you'll hear it on social media, I'll do all this for my children and this for my children, and you won't do this, and I'm like a bear about my children. Yeah, so they're willing to lay down their lives also. So they've stepped into that role. They did not take it. It's not a taking. It's just that stepped into, able to do it. And it didn't say, you go sit down, man. Now I got this. I'm going to do all the fighting. I'm going to do all the protecting. No, I say it's necessity. And now that technology is not a spear anymore, or a knife or bayonet, we can push a button and launch missiles. It's not like it used to be. And that's what I say, technology changed things. Women didn't pick up the spear when it was spear time and run up on the enemy, or the slingshot with a rock in it, or the club when it was hand to hand. But as weapons advanced, it made it easier for women to be a protector. And we can get with the AK. I'm not even going to try it because I'm not a weapons person, but you know what the AK is, and and shoot now. Don't even have to be close or anything. So advancements in technology made it possible for women to be a protector. Even the daggone, what is that, pepper spray and taser and all that we can use to protect ourselves. So now the woman also accept the fact that they will lay down their lives for their family. And it has always been a public display of the man's competency in the protector role that was shown through physical contests. We have the Olympics that, of course, everyone knew was a demonstration of the male athlete and how well trained he was to win the gold medals, the gladiators who fought in the public field in all the sports, football. And now we come into a time and age where football is like, oh no, don't do that. You get brain damage. It's very dangerous with the contact sports and everything. So we're seeing a decline in the sports and the other activities where men showed their strength on a public forum, to be displayed, to be applauded and congratulated, and saying, yes, he is the top of the top alpha male in the body strength and muscles. And then you have your decathlon winner, what's his name? Let's think of his name, who is now a female, identifies as a female. The Kardashians, keeping up with the Kardashians. Everybody know who I'm talking about. It'll come to me when I don't want it to come to me, won't it? That's just the way it is, Kim, Carly. This on the tip of my tongue, and I can't get it off of there. But you all know who I'm talking about. He won Olympic gold medals, and then he decided that he was a woman living in a man's body. So he changed his from he to she, and he moved on with his life. And so times have changed. Really, times have changed. So that protector instinct, and when we're in a crisis, men have always been looked to for their strength, their courage, endurance, and valor. So that's what the protector had to offer to his family. And what we say, a woman is the chooser when it comes to what she involves herself with, and a woman would latch on to a man who displayed that he was a protector that would lay his life down for her and her family. His courage, his valor, his skills in protecting, whether in his strategy, he could come up with ways to protect her and everything. And yes, that was very attractive to the female. And like I said, that's not even being able to be displayed anymore for her to have that option of selection. So what is she going to select as far as a protector? That she will attach herself with this person because he is a great protector, with technology making it so easy for her to protect herself and her family. That isn't high on her list anymore. It's not. When you was in high school, everybody wanted the captain of the football team because he displayed his masculinity. Now the nerds rule, as they say. The computer, the one you wouldn't even look at before, now the women are after that brain. They're after that brain. He can solve things. He can make things happen. He's intelligent. That will protect my family in the future. So things have changed. It's not as personal as you think, men. It's not as personal as you think. So we go on to the next P, the provider. And this was said that a man tames nature, turns chaos into order, and takes raw material of life and transforms them into something of value. By providing, a man can say to himself and show others he's a worker, a builder, a creator, each giving a man deep satisfaction of being able to do something. He can point to something and say, I did that with my own hand. There's the sun again. I'm going to have to do something. I love the sunshine. It's wonderful. I even like it coming in on me as I speak. It energizes me. It's great. It's wonderful. But men don't even want to point to anything that they've made with their hands anymore. We're not that kind of, 21st century isn't I created with my own hands, it's I created with my own mind. And usually I delegated that to someone else to actually carry out. I mean, we're just as much hands-off physical labor as possible if we can get away with it. We don't want to point to anything that we worked hard on or we built or created physically. Nobody wants to be physical anymore. So showing that a sense of pride anymore, that's why we have so much crappy stuff made. Stuff that was built before would last, a refrigerator would last for 15, 20 years. You're lucky if it's 5. The craftsmanship is gone. Nobody cares how sound it is and how wonderful it is you built. Hey, it's a new model, just came out the next year. We don't even want it if it did last 15 years. Nobody wants that. They want the newest thing that's even better and improved. So that even pride in I made it myself out of my own labor and construction isn't what it used to be. And as a provider, it's always seemed that the male would contribute the greatest share of sustenance to one's family. So even when the woman started going into the workforce, it was still like, oh, that's okay. She's making her little old money over there to contribute here, little petty cash fund and high spent and everything. But the man contributed the greatest share of sustenance to his family. He was resourceful. He could maneuver around obstacles. He could find solutions to problems, turn scarce resources into something of value. He was very creative. And I don't know if there's a passion for that anymore, to be that creative, to take nothing and make it into something. I don't know. We all want to start at the top. No one wants to start at the bottom and evolve and become more, input more, and become greater. It's like, hey, take me as I am. I'm pretty great right now. Let me rule over everybody. Everybody wants to be the chief and nobody wants to be the Indian, right? And that's just the way it is. We're entitled. We're smarter in elementary school than a lot of our past generations were after getting a master's degree. That's the truth. These children are learning at kick butt rates, getting all kind of information. Like I said, it's at their fingertips within 2 seconds. If it's a minute, it's late. If it's a minute, it's already late. So it is just a different time. And then you throw trying to have a relationship into this kind of time, and it's very difficult. And like I said, it's not so much personal. It's just really isn't that personal. We're all superficial, male and female right about now, just too superficial to even have anybody. And that's the truth. And once you get them, you probably don't want them or need them. We're just too superficial. And during that as a provider in that P, they were self-reliant because dependency was seen as shameful. To not be dependent on childhood family. Now it's like it takes that, because a degree don't get you to pay it used to get you. College degrees don't get you to pay, and millennials know that right now. They had their education, they were set, ready for the American dream. Go to school, get your education, the world is your oyster. It's not that anymore. An influencer of 19 who's been on social media for 2 years and got a crowd can make way more money than someone that spent 4 years getting them a BA in something. BAs now is like a high school diploma. This is probably the first time that the American dream is difficult to obtain, and it feels like it's a lie. Millennials are bitter. They cannot make a living wage and leave their parents' home and establish their own home like they once could. And there is a bit of shame that's going with it. Women were like, oh, you still live with your mom and dad. First thing they say. But it's a bear out there, and COVID has let us see you cannot get your own place. No matter, you have to be Bill Gates out here to get you a nice place. You know, it's the world. And we have to take a step back. We're going to have to redefine, reevaluate what's going on and how we can make it through this time instead of turning on each other. Like Red Pill Man said, women are responsible for this chaos right now. And I'm not here to try to really diffuse that or go against that or what have you. But what I want to say is there's a lot that happened, and technology caused a good bit of the chaos we're in now. But yeah, as a provider, you leave your family home, and then you're able to stand on your own 2 feet and provide for you. People usually go from their parents' home to another home. Boom. That was the genesis. Oh, I got a woman now let me get a place. Or I got a child now with this woman, let me get a place. And it got out of order. You should have had for you first, your place, your ability to take care of you completely first before you bring in another part. And that's why I said I back up to manhood. Some things were out of order, and once something is out of order, it's hard to go back and try to put it into order. We have to start in order and finish in order. Of course, everything is not in a box. There's exceptions to every rule. Things can be done out of order and succeed wonderfully. But I'm just saying that it's such a better way to start out, that I know I can take care of me first before I invite someone in. Why would I invite someone into the mess that is still me trying to figure out, find out, and do? That has just made my struggle harder, to invite someone to ride this in this car with 3 tires. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm feeling bad, you know? If I had a car with 3 tires and it was just me, I would be unhappy, but I would be focused only on getting the other tire. When you invite someone in on your ride with 3 tires, you looking at embarrassment, hurry up, do it, why isn't it happening now? It's just too much going on, adding on to the stress. So it's a good thing to not be dependent on your childhood family, but we are living in a time right now that actually calls for it. You just really can't break it loose, but that should be your thought first, instead of I am living with my parents are taking care of me, and now I'm bringing someone else in for my parents to take care of. And that's what that generation is saying. They're raising grandchildren, and they're still giving money to their children. So they're taking care of 3 people themselves, their children, and then their grandchildren, and it is not a good condition for them. That's not good, and that's not going to stand long. But it's standing, and it's been standing a while. But that's going to have to break. And the great thing about that, once you are established and your family is established, and you move on to the next level, which no one even is concerned about, you're able to give back to your community. People that are well established and are living in the 3 Ps, they find that they can be generous with their community because they have done well with themselves. And those people are expected to give back. And right now, everybody is like, I'm keeping whatever the devil I have to myself. I don't have anything for anybody. But through Christian religion, we are known to give back, to take care of the less fortunate, to take care of the poor, to do everything. God even said, I bless you so you can do that. And you'll hear people say, pay them tithes so you can get in. But it's also supposed to go back out. When you do well, you do well within your community. And that's that good standing of your reputation. And the last part that seems to be the first part everybody wants to start with is procreating. How can you get to procreating when you can't feed yourself? I don't know. But we do it. We do it. Raise your hand. Yeah, we do it. So procreate was to pursue women, to impregnate her, create a vigorous family that expands the lineage of a man's gene pool as much as possible. That he was the initiator of seduction. And I think the art of seduction on the man's part is gone. They say I'm a player. I can get her in and I can get her to have sex with me. And that's it. But it was the initiation of seduction and courtship. Courtship means my intentions are to marry you. Courtship. And procreation has virility and potency and ability to sexually satisfy a woman. I don't even think that comes into equation. It's like, I want to have sex with her. I want to have sex with many women, and sexually satisfying them is not high on the docket right there. And the ability to produce offspring. So those are the 3 Ps: protector, provider, and procreator. And of course, with the sexual revolution of 60s and 70s, the documentary on Hugh Hefner and the Playboy Bunnies is out now, where the women were free to decide to have sex and enjoy it themselves, to initiate and all of that. Didn't take it, joined in and said, I can do it too, but never took. None of this has been taken. Say, just because someone shares the same thing, okay, you have what is a Maybach. If I go buy a Maybach, I didn't take your Maybach. You have one, I have one. This always taking and taking and taking is a dog whistle. It really has become a dog whistle and not a fact. It's not taking. It's I have it too. So what do we do? What do we do? Your dream was to have a Maybach, whatever the car is called. My dream was to have one. Your dream is fulfilled. Mine's fulfilled. Now I'm supposed to hate you, or you're supposed to hate me because I got what your dream was, or you have what my dream was. I can't be in relationship with you because we equal in cars. It's really a bad point, isn't it? I think so. All right, that's it on this right here. I've explained the 3 Ps on all the videos, all the groundwork, everything I wanted to do on the 3 Ps. No one viewed my 3 Ps in the first place. Hopefully they'll view these next 2 on the 3 Ps because it's important when it comes to being in relationship with a woman, or even a woman being in relationship with a man. If you're saying I'm trying to understand women so I won't be confused and frustrated, then the one thing that a woman wants is a man living in manhood. There, I said it. You can see why it's so beneficial. It's wonderful, beneficial. It's good. It's a good thing. So you should want it. It's a good thing. All right, I'm going to move on, and I'm going to go to another video, and that's going to be the origins of man, and I'll tell you about it later. Like I said, if you want to follow me on my blog spot where I write about women's issues mostly, you can find me at DorothyGuyton.blogspot.com. You can find me on Twitter on In Defense of Women. That's the letter N, Defense, DEFENSE of Women. And on my Facebook page, which don't have many followers, so I would appreciate you over there. And that's Dorothy Guyton, author. Remember, God loves you always, and I love you too. Until next time, bye-bye.